I just discovered that as humans, there are so many things with which we've learned in life that we need to unlearn. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, one of the popular philosophers, will say that man is free but all in chains. This entails that our freedom is freedom for responsibility and not just freedom to do whatever we like. When I say that there are some things we've learned as humans which we need to unlearn, these are what I mean. You know, growing as kids, we may be the kind of people who fell in the kind of home that there is no or there are no opportunities given to people to air up their views. And when we grow up with such orientation, we don't give people the opportunity to explain themselves before we start to judge them or maybe crucify them over one thing or the other. Take, for instance, when one is groomed in a family whereby the father is so arrogant that he doesn't accept corrections when he is wrong. You see, especially the male child will grow up becoming arrogant in the society, even when relating with people. If one was groomed in a family whereby as kids you weren't given the opportunity to defend yourself. For instance, when your parents would call you and you didn't answer, they would begin to rain down abuses on you without trying to verify or figure out what really made you not to respond to their call. They begin to say you are stupid, you are this, you are that. And the person will grow up with such mentality and psychology of life. And without even verifying from people, he or she would grow up, being harsh to people, being judgmental, without at least listening to hear from people the reason why they behave in the way they behaved. This also affected the way some people act when they call you on phone and you weren't able to pick their calls. And when they see you or meet with you physically, they begin to rain abuses on you. Say you are stupid, this is the way you behave, is that the way you behave? They call you, you don't answer your call, you are dodging me, especially when you have some deal with him or her. Without trying to verify. I called you. You couldn't or you weren't picking your calls. Mr. or Miss or Mrs. What could be the problem? Then you listen to the person. This does not negate the fact that some persons, maybe when you have some deal with them and you call them on phone, they'll begin to dodge your calls. This also does not negate the fact that some people um, really land in a wrong way. That when people are calling them they think that they are making themselves costly. You know, when you are calling them, they are not answering. Maybe you call first time, you have to call the second time or third time before they will pick your call, or they will just allow you to call. You get tired, and maybe they will call you and say, "I don't feel like answering when you were calling." You see that I know that there's no smoke without fire. Having known this, in the society, there is need for we to reevaluate so many values. If we've been groomed to act in a certain way which is unhealthy to the second person, it means we have to change those things to make sure that there is a peaceful coexistence of humans in the society. You see that this is really causing a lot of problem in human relationship, especially when we enter into marriage. You see that someone whose parents, specifically father or mother, is autocratic, controls the home, no one gives him or her advice, the person will grow up to be an autocratic wife, autocratic husband who listens to nobody. And the most funniest part of it is that we fail to know or to get to understand that as we do this, that our kids learn from us. They are Our kids grow up to become the product of our own character. We have our gene in them, we have our characters as part of theirs. And when we don't live in a moral way, when we don't live in a way that is coexistential, it affects the way they behave, it affects their own orientation. Remember that it is what one has that he or she